In this QuarkOn training video, we're going to cover another feature found in the QuarkOn Custom Dashboard Designer. QuarkOn uses SyncFusion Bold BI to create new and custom dashboards. That software has been embedded into your subscription to QuarkOn. In this training video, we're going to cover the KPI card. To get to the custom dashboard design, we have a project selected. We're going to go down to New Project Analytics. And make sure that's selected, and the prime contract as well. We're currently on the Overview tab, but we're going to switch now over to the Custom tab. How to create these new and custom dashboards has been covered in previous videos. We're just going to add one more element to an existing custom summary dashboard. We're going to use the Projected Cost Simple, just to show you what it looks like before we start. We already have a few of these elements added. We're going to go back to the dashboard list. Now we're going to go to the same one and over to Edit Dashboard. Remember to click the Publish button often. That's the way you save your work. And now we're going to go down to the Widgets toolbar, and we're going to select under Card the KPI card. I'm just going to drag that right into our design canvas. A KPI card is a widget that allows you to measure trends through key performance indicators. And key performance indicators is where the acronym KPI comes from. It allows you to compare values such as actual versus target. In this training video, we're going to create a new custom KPI card as a widget. And we're going to try to calculate the percentage complete based on cost for a single contract. We already dragged the KPI card to the design canvas. Now we can select the KPI widget by clicking on it to focus, and then to edit the properties, we could go over to the Properties toolbar on the far right, or we could also click the Properties toolbar that's in the actual widget on the top right hand corner. Now we're going to switch over to the Assign Data tab and confirm the data source. I'm going to pull this down and switch to the QuarkOn API Cost Data Source, or API. Next we have to drag some values from the Measures section into the actual value and the target value. The actual value in this case will be the approved cost to date, and the target value will be the revised cost budget. So first we're going to add the cost to date approved total to the actual value. And for the target value, we're going to use the revised cost budget. Scroll back up for that. And we'll drag that into the target value. Optionally, you can add a math function or change the math function by clicking next to the value. We're using the sum, but there are several other options. And also, while we're here, let's click Format, and we'll format the number. We'll switch that to currency, and we'll take out the decimal places. There's a preview. Click OK. We'll do the same thing with target value. We could select and change the math function, and when we adjusted the format for the number for the actual value, we did the same for the target value. Next we're going to switch over to the Properties tab, and we'll do a little formatting. Change the font size and some other attributes. In the Properties tool, we're going to change the card name first. We can also change the font size. Let's now scroll down to the left value section, which will be the actual value. And let's change the color of the font. And that was the actual value itself. We can also change the color of the caption. Always clicking Apply. We can also reduce the size and so forth. Let's do that on the caption. Make that a little bit smaller. And while we're here, let's change the label. Now we'll go down to the right value and do the same. Change the color of the font. Click Apply. Change the color of the label. We'll reduce the size of the label, the font of the label, and change the name. We also need to scroll up to the KPI value, and this is very important. We need to switch the type. So we're going to say it's the percent of the target, and you'll see the value there also updated. And I'm going to reduce the size of that font. Then we're going to adjust the size just by dragging the border. And you might want to change the color of the KPI value. Click Apply. So instead of showing the difference in dollars, we change that to a percentage. Usually, all of these options are unchecked under container actions. And then we'll adjust the size and height again. If we click back over to the Assign Data tab, you'll also notice there's a section to add a value to the series. Adding a series value field gives the section an additional layer of dimension. While this KPI card is nice and simple, if you wanted to add a third dimension, you'd go to the Dimensions section and drag a dimension into the series field. I'm just going to take the job cost code internal division and drag that into the series field. Now definitely need to adjust the font size because that made the KPI card much larger. But now instead of calculating the percentage complete at the contract level overall, it's calculating the percent complete based on the division code that was being used. I prefer to make this a little bit simpler, so I'm going to just take that back out. And then we'll readjust the size. Remember to save often by clicking the Publish button. If you'd like to know more about the subject covered in this training video, we encourage you to go to the knowledge base, to reporting and analytics, to project analytics, to business intelligence dashboards and reports. And if you scroll down, you'll see a series of knowledge base articles on customizing the BI summary dashboards. This training video covered the KPI card widget.